Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back to Math is Easy Step by Step. We're talking about test questions involving finding zeros of functions. And we're continuing on in this part 5 video, factoring. So we've gone over FOIL, how to check your answers when you factor an expression or an equation. And so now let's get into the different types of factoring. Here we're going to go over factoring trinomials. Get right into it. X squared plus 1x minus 6. So this is a key. Think of it as if you're like a detective, right? And this is a key. I know x times x is going to give me x squared. So I can set up two parentheses, x plus in one and x plus in the other. Now I need to find two terms that multiply to a negative 6 that add up to a positive 1, right? That's an invisible 1. You can just write a solid 1. This is just a way of me teaching invisible 1s. If you haven't seen my invisible 1s video, hey, check it out. It's going to clarify a lot of things for you and eliminate a lot of confusion in mathematics. So what two numbers would multiply to a negative 6 but add up to a positive 1? Again, that is my task. And I know, again, that x squared, x times x, remember, we're going to be multiplying, foiling these terms to check our answers. So I know that x times x will give me x squared. I can put a plus sign right here in between these two terms. And now I need to come up with two numbers that multiply to a negative 6, but will add up to a positive 1. Put them in here, perform FOIL, check my answer, and I know I factored correctly at that particular point. So let's just do that here. Let me just show you. I have a factor tree I've created to show me what two numbers will multiply to a negative 6 and then add up to a positive 1. 1 times negative 6 is negative 6. Negative 1 times 6 gives me negative 6. Negative 2 times 3 is negative 6. And a positive 2 times a negative 3 gives me negative 6. Which one of these terms will add up to a positive 1? Negative 2 times a positive 3 will give me a positive 1 when I add them together. So the terms I'm going to place up here inside my parentheses are going to be x minus 2, or I could put x plus 3, or I could put x plus a negative 2 here, or I could put an x plus a positive 3 here. Wherever the 3 goes, the negative 2 has to go in that other set of parentheses. Let's take a look. I have x minus 2 times the quantity of x plus 3. Hey, is it okay for me to come in here and say, hey, I'm going to put a plus sign right there? Absolutely. Absolutely. This just means x plus a negative 2 value, right? That perceived subtraction sign is really a negative that goes with that value of 2. Now, hey, now I got to check my answers. I got to check my answer. And if I did this correctly, if this is the correct factor, when I FOIL, I'm going to come up with the expression that I started with, x squared plus 1x minus 6. Hey, let's check that out. Let's check out the FOIL now. So this is how you're going to check your answers. You're going to perform the FOIL, right? First, outer, inner, last. If this is new to you, please check out my videos. I've done a number of videos on step-by-step how to perform FOIL to check your answers, right? First term multiply with first term. Outer term times outer term. Inner term times inner term. Lastly, last term times the last term. So in performing the FOIL, I wanted to show you here, it's going to be x times x plus x times a positive 3 plus negative 2 times x, or x times negative 2, and then negative 2 times that positive 3. That's my last terms. I am going to multiply, then combine like terms, checking my answers. So step by step. See, this is a 1x raised. Oh my gosh, there's a little shaking there. Hold on now. Hold it on now. Each of these x's has a 1 value in the front. Invisible 1. I'm showing that to you with the dot, dot, dot. And they each are to the power of 1. But typically you don't see it. They just give you x, right? So when you show these invisible ones, it clarifies what you need to do. 1 times 1 is 1x. And the rule is when you multiply with the same base, you add those exponents. 1 plus 1 is 2. That's x to the second power. Plus plus, 1 times 3 is 3. You got to include that x right next to each other. They're attached through multiplication. Plus plus. Negative 2 times 1 is a negative 2x. Bring down that plus sign. Negative 2 times 3 is that negative 6. Now, we're going to combine like terms. If I did this correctly, again, I'm going to start. I would have the, once I combine like terms, I'll have the original expression I started with. Let's take a look. There are no other to the power of 2 x's, so I can just bring this down, rewrite it in my answer. There are no other consonants, whole numbers, so I'm going to bring that negative 6, put it in my answer. What is 3x plus a negative 2x, or 3 plus negative 2? You got $3. You borrowed $2. How much do I have left? I have $1 remaining. X squared plus 1x plus a negative 6. Is this the same expression I started with? It absolutely is. What does that mean? My answer checks. I correctly factored. The correct factor in this expression, equations have equal signs, is x plus a negative 2, x plus a positive 3. And if you wanted to find zeros, you'd set each of these equal to 0 and solve for x, and that would give you your answer. So thank you for joining me. Hopefully this has been made easy for you to understand. I would like to continue and do one more part, video part 6 in factoring trinomial, quadratic polynomials. It gets a little more complicated, but I want to make it easy because math is easy if you take it step by step. Thank you for joining me. If I've helped you, please help me by donating a star or a gift. Thank you for your time.